This regular meeting of the Morgantown Utility Board will come to order. All of you got your packets with the minutes. Did you have a chance to look at those? All right. Any objections or corrections at this point? All right. May I have a motion?
Move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting, December 12th, as submitted.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Public portion. Do we have any people to speak?
Is it just me? Am I the only pseudo-public person here?
I guess you are.
Danielle Trumbull, 1141 Charles Avenue. I will start by saying that I saw that today was the anniversary of the Elk River chemical spill in Charleston, so I think I speak on behalf of most people, if not all, in Morgantown, that we are grateful to the great work of Morgantown Utility Board, that when we and our children turn on our faucets, we do not have to be concerned about what's coming out and in the safety of that. So we appreciate the hard work. Welcome to Dr. Workman. We are happy to have him on the board. We at the city look forward to working with him and continuing to improve relationships between City Council, the City Administration, and the entirety of the board. Look forward to the new year and things to come. That being said, I really am here to say that I was happy to recently see some of the details for the bridge design for White Park coming together, and I look forward to sharing those with the Bow Park board, and I hope that the MUB board gets those soon as well if they have not yet, and look forward to making that project come to fruition after years of waiting on behalf of the people of Morgantown. So look forward to moving that project forward this year as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We're pleased also that we are able to turn on the faucet and everyone has good water. And should anything happen, we've got a backup that is exceptional.
Right.
So,
Yep.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to speak? Any letters or memos?
No.
Okay. New business. Before we welcome our new board member, I do want to say that it's been with great pleasure we've served with Dr. Karen Kuntz, who has served on our board for 5 years. She was delightful. She was willing to participate. She made some great suggestions. She's very knowledgeable of public finance and has been able to make some very good suggestions on a couple of occasions. So we're very pleased to have had her and to have worked with her. She's moving on to some more exciting things, some challenges in the public finance area and consulting. And so we wish her nothing but the best in her endeavors. But we did want to thank her for the service that she provided, and she will always be remembered as a good friend to MUB. At this time, I do want to introduce Dr. Samuel Workman, who is our newest board member. Welcome. And I've asked Sam just to give us a little introduction to himself.
Well, as Barbara notes, I have a PhD. I spent a lifetime studying public policy, mostly focused on boards, commissions, bureaucracies of all types, and of relevance to how we take public input and gather expertise and make sort of government work on the daily for people. And I've spent a lifetime doing that. In terms of my capacity here, I'm very pleased to serve with a bunch of great people, and I just hope that I can bring some of this expertise to bear here and be a help to the board, to MUB, and to the Morgantown community more broadly as we sort of meet the challenges of the future and grow and develop.
And we might add, you're a native West Virginian.
I am.
And would you like to tell us where that was?
So I am from the coal fields. I'm from Fayette County, so near the new national park, but closer to the Gauley River area than the New River area, but sort of right there, the land between rivers, I guess we could say.
And you went away and you actually came back.
I did. I was gone for 20 years. I've been a professor at the University of Texas, at the University of Oklahoma, and now I am home.
An SEC man, huh?
I'm not an SEC.
Well, we're glad to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you can call on any of us to provide you with any assistance you might need as you adapt to our ways and to the information that's quite extensive
Yep.
for the Morgantown Utility Board. And the staff is also available anytime. Glad to have you. All right, now we have the annual election of officers. Do we have a recommendation?
I'd like to make a motion to re-elect the current officers, which is Barbara as chair, me as vice chair, Eric as treasurer, and add Dave as secretary.
All right. Do I have a second? Or is there further discussion or other nominations?
I would probably prefer not to serve in the role of treasurer. I'm more than willing to continue serving in a officer capacity, but don't think at this point treasurer would be where my expertise and skill would be able to come most of the time.
I'd like to modify my
You would like to
Motion.
amend your motion?
to substitute for treasurer Dave and Eric as secretary.
I would just ask what the responsibilities of treasurer are for MUB on the board.
Well, not a lot.
What can
Do I
I
have to keep an eye on Jeff?
perspective? Having served previously as treasurer for a couple of years, you get all the financial reports. You have the ability to converse on an ongoing basis with our financial staff, particularly Jeff. But I didn't see that it involved a lot of time and effort given the professionalism that we have amongst our staff. But I think as the treasurer, if you see something that's questionable, raise the questions. But you don't have to sign checks.
Darn, there goes that opportunity, right?
Yeah, I'd be happy to serve in the capacity.
Any other suggestions, comments? All right, so again, the nominations are,
You as chair, me as vice chair, Eric as secretary, and Dave as treasurer.
okay.
And member at large, our newest member, Sam.
All right, do we have a motion?
That's what moved.
That's your recommendation?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. New business. Well, that was it. So the old business we now have is Lake PSD.
Yes, so Cheatview, they're not really anything new to report. The petition for consolidation has been filed with the Public Service Commission of West Virginia, so we're just waiting on them to issue their first memorandum, and I'm sure we'll probably have a data request or something thrown in there. So not much is going on at this point.
Just waiting.
Could you remind me of the process of going through this? And is this something we go to city council on? Is that something that, whether it's informational or is there a vote, something
Yes,
along those lines?
they are debt free, so there's no action by council that's necessary as far as the debt goes. But the council will need to approve the tariff because we will change. That would have to be changed and put into Morgantown Utility Board's name.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Cheat Lake Wastewater Treatment Plant.
Well, we continue to have our bi-weekly work sessions with Strand. Tomorrow, Rich and I are going to be with representatives from Strand. We're going to meet with the West Virginia DEP. We're going to provide them with an update of where we are with the project. And we're also going to talk to them about our long-term control plan and where they are in the process. And that's our program about our CSO, Sam. So we're doing a study. They're doing a study for us right now. They're making recommendations on projects as we go forward. So we've made improvements such as the new wastewater treatment plant, part of a new interceptor, but there's more to come. And this will be a multi-year phased approach into capturing the CSOs and treating it.
Okay. Any questions?
So we do have one action item this evening for Cheat Lake Wastewater Treatment Plant. We have to have some geotechnical information for the site, and so Strand prepared the RFP for us. We've advertised, we've accepted proposals, and we opened those up, and Terracon Consultants, they were the low bid at $44,900. We recommend the board accept that bid amount and approve us moving forward with the contract.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I move to accept the bid from Terracon Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $44,900.
Okay,
All right, second.
any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, office renovations.
Yes, so we were talking about putting out some possible dates, and so with the holidays and everything, we thought maybe we just wait till we get to the board meeting and ask the board of directors to see if the 25th of January or the 26th might fit into your schedule for a work session.
I just happened to bring my
What
calendar.
time in the day are you looking at?
We can do a lunch meeting. That would work out if it works for the board, or we can meet later whatever is convenient for the board members. We can make it work.
On the 25th, I can meet after 12:30.
I have a luncheon date that day.
I'm open until 2.
25th, I am free. 26th would be very hard.
Okay.
So
The 25th in the morning would be
Morning
fine.
would be fine on the
Likewise.
25th.
Okay.
Everybody available on
25th in the morning?
Okay.
Eric? Yeah, okay.
What time?
9, 10,
9.
9 o'clock.
Yeah.
25th, 9 a.m. work session.
Okay. Great.
we'll get a calendar invite to that.
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? No. Coming up. A lot of good information. Maybe even walking around. Who knows?
So, Upper Pocono Sanitary and Storm Restoration Project, we're still working on easements. Right now we have 49 signed easements, maybe 50. I think we may have gotten the next one more. So there's still about 23 outstanding. The design is complete. Bid documents are just about 100% now. I think there's just a little bit of going back and forth, Rich, on that. And so all the permits are in. So now we just need to get those easements because we are under critical time to do take some trees down because of the bat habitat. So we're moving quickly, as quick as we can.
Okay.
I have a question going back to the previous. How long do you envision this particular work session to take?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it would take an hour and a half, maybe at the
Okay,
most.
because I have a doctor's appointment at 11. That's what I was asking.
Okay, yeah, I think we can. We always pause where we need to and pick back up.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion about Upper Pocono Run?
If we get to a roadblock of just not being able to obtain, do we have a path to move forward?
Well, the last thing we ever want to do is condemnation. So we're hoping that we're going to send out some letters, some additional letters, and work and see if we can make contact ourselves. E.L. Robinson is contracted with a right-of-way agent, so we're going to get a little bit more involved in the process.
Do we have? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. So, do we have any update as far as today? I mentioned I had some heavy water going through my yard. Nowhere near this, but it's the first time I've seen it since those big rainfalls in 21. Do we have any update? How has this area been today?
We've had a report of one overflow, but other than that, we've not had any reports of property damage or anyone experiencing any problems.
spread out over 8 hours is a lot better than 45 minutes.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, yes. No swiftwater rescues that I'm aware of.
What's the latest date we have to take down the trees?
I think it's the end of March.
Okay.
So we're being very optimistic as we proceed with that project because it's very important and a substantially large project. So we'll think positively. All right, the EPA Brownfields Grant.
So the contract documents for demolition of the Dinsmore building and the old bike shop, they're nearly complete. I think we're looking for those this week, Rich.
Yes.
And so we should have everything ready to go shortly. So it'll just be a matter of EPA looking at them, and once they give us the green light, we'll be able to go forward.
Will that include the remediation plan?
Yes, so there will be some remediation in that, the capping.
Yeah.
And Rich can elaborate on that if you have any questions.
No, I just said demolition. I wondered about remediation.
Yeah, it happens so once the buildings are down, they'll have it's an area where they couldn't do any testing before. So once those buildings are down, they'll do some additional soil testing, and from that work with the EPA to come up with the final remediation plan. So there's still some more testing to do once the buildings come down.
Okay. Westridge, Chaplain Hill.
The design is still moving forward. We're right at the 75% completion mark. We're still working on permits, so that's going to take some time. The wheels of government.
Yes. Well, I don't think a lot of people understand how many things, how many hurdles, how many challenges there are to most of the projects that we do. And one of the big ones that take a lot of time are permitting, whether it's properties or whether it's through the agencies that oversee the work that we do. So nothing is ever as quick as we would like it to be, but we keep moving forward, and that's the best we can do. All right, the general manager's report. What have you got to tell us?
Well, Baird Street, we talked about the August rain event and the damage that occurred. That has now been all repaired. But we are seeing deterioration in the box line, as we call it, that goes down the hill. You recall when we had the big storm events, there was a big washout, and that's what prompted us to move so quickly in those repairs. And so we're still seeing deterioration there, and we're going to have that lined. And so that will extend the longevity of that piece of infrastructure, but it's just as important, it will be the least disruptive to the public's enjoyment of the rail trail, rather than trying to replace the whole thing.
And that's the project we finished not too many years ago.
Right. We didn't. Not that long ago. Gosh, I wish I could remember dates better.
So do I, but that's too bad. All right, airport water and sewer.
Yeah, so we're working with the city of Morgantown on the extension of water and sanitary sewer service to new hangars along Hartfield Road. The sanitary sewer project that will consist of installing about 395 feet of 8-inch sewer line and 2 manholes. The water project will consist of installing of about 300 feet of 6-inch water line and 1 fire hydrant. And we will do all the construction in-house.
Okay, terrific.
And understand the sewer project is moving along very well. Today, probably not so much.
Not today. All right, good. Any questions of Mike about any of these projects? All right.
No.
Any board member issues or discussions you'd like to bring forward?
I have one. The Charleston Gazette reported that the PSC staff has told the legislature that the PSC does not have its own regulations for fire hydrant practices. Under state code, utilities are required to keep records indicating the location, size, and capacity of fire hydrants and other water delivery infrastructures like transmission and distribution lines. But the PSC staff indicates that the agency should revise testing and inspection standards to meet recommendations provided by national organizations, and they recommended that all water utilities operating fire hydrants should be required to report and certify in their annual reports to the PSC the number of fire hydrants inspected and the number of fire hydrant flow tests are completed. They also are looking into possibly getting some funding from the legislature to allow, in particular, some of the rural water utilities to install or replace many of their outdated fire hydrants. Could you bring us up to date on MUB's status as it relates to fire hydrants, the current cycle for replacement, and our confirmation with the requirements of state code?
Yes. Well, first of all, I want to point out these are recommendations at this point. These are not rules or part of the West Virginia State Code. MUB did respond back to the survey. We do check our hydrants. We inspect them every year. We do have hydrants that are over 50 years old. And that's part of one of the things that they're looking at is a replacement plan. And of course, what they're talking about is a 10-year plan. It would be over 10 years, and the funding that they're talking about would be over a 10-year period as well. They're estimating that will be about $10,000 a hydrant. Whether or not that will hold true, I don't know. When you're starting to look at a 10-year replacement plan, that's a lot of hydrants if they stick to the 50-year thought. And I think there's going to be probably some movement there. But we are checking our hydrants every year. We make sure they are in operating condition. So we're very pleased by that. We have about 1,065 hydrants. And we will be taking on the cheap view hydrants as well. I think there's about 132 out there that there could be a few more, than that we're not aware of. But and those will be included in our inspection. And so, as far as the Morgantown Utility Board goes, we're very confident in the work that we have completed, and we often work with the Morgantown Fire Department. When the insurance services office comes in and they do fire flows, and we work with them on that and make sure those ratings are what those hydrants will flow, and make sure that the fire department, I believe, bans the hydrants and codes them accordingly.
And we did an audit that we sent to the state.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we
were one of the few, I think.
I know they had some challenges. Yes. When they realized we had 1,000 and over 1,000 hydrants, they said, please don't send us 1,000 sheets of paper. Just send us an example. Yeah, answer the questions and show us what your checklist is like. So that's kind of how it really worked, because there's only so much they can look at. But I think they did a very nice job. Down at the commission, I think their engineering staff really took it to heart. But
they're under a lot of pressure from some of the lawmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And our audit was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, Corey Jones, who's with us this evening, he's our one of our senior staff engineers. Corey headed up the response back to the PSC for us, and he did an excellent job. And it just once again shows that the professionalism of the staff and what a good job they do, and what we're doing here at the utility board.
Thank you.
So, you have any questions of Corey while he's here? Anybody? Okay. No.
Thanks for your hard work.
Once again, Corey. Corey's always out there. He's one of the faces of MUB right on the front line.
He is boots on the ground all the time in all the projects. He gets his hands dirty.
All right. Thank you for responding to that. At this time, do we have a move to go into executive session?
I move to convene an executive session of the Board of Directors under the provisions of West Virginia Code Section 6-9A-49 and 12 to discuss advanced construction planning and other confidential matters which are exempt from disclosure under the West Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and further move to adjourn the meeting at the conclusion of the executive session.
Okay, all in favor?
I'll second.
All right, you second. I forget the second. Okay, second, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll break for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and go into executive session.